Hey YouTubers, Raven here. Today we'll be talking about The Flash Season 2, Episode 6. Um, as you have no doubt noticed by now, there is no, my counterpart is not here. Starfire is, doing, school work and stuff. She's trying to catch up and everything, because, math is hard. And so, yeah. So we're both taking a math class together, but we have a test soon, and she's really studying and buckling down and everything. I'm proud of her for that. So she's going to take a break from reviews for right now. She'll be doing the Once Upon a Time reviews with me, but just like it was when I was in the play, she was doing the Flash, Arrow, and Supernatural ones by herself. Now I will be doing them by myself. She might join in every once in a while, but yeah, I don't know when she'll be back, and I don't think she knows either. But right now school is just really weighing down and piling on the homework because the semester is getting closer to a close. So yeah, a bunch of stuff is getting to be done that has to be due, and so yeah, you'll be stuck with me from now on for a while. So enjoy. So anyways, I haven't been with you guys since I think it was episode 1 or 2. I think it was episode 2. But we have had a few good glances of Zoom, but tonight's episode we got to see Zoom full on staring at us, talking to us and everything, like to the people on the show, to the characters. But we got to hear his voice in like dialogue, like long, like he had a few short monologues and then banter back and forth. So we got to hear him speak and things like that. We got to see him run tonight, which is something we haven't seen from him yet, and which I thought was pretty cool. I like the blue lightning, and I like the fact that they're kind of like he's just standing there, but the blue lightning makes it look like, because they were talking about having Zoom be kind of out of sync with time, like he's a step ahead or whatever in time, like he's just out of time. He lives between the seconds, so that's why the blue, even when he's standing still, why the blue lightning is like streaking around him, is giving the effect that he's not standing still, even though he kind of obviously is standing still. It might be that even though we perceive him to be standing still, to him he's moving quickly so that he can appear to be standing still. And that's what the blue lightning is. I don't know, that's a theory. I do like the Zoom character so far. He is pretty cool. Let's see. Linda. Well, that was unexpected. Barry's reveal to Linda. And I'm not too sure I was happy with the delivery. I mean, Barry's reveal was kind of epic. I like Linda. She's a really cool character, and I can't wait to see her in future episodes, because, like, we're gonna get Wally West, and every comic person knows that Wally and Linda end up together. Like, that's the thing. And just like every comic person, or maybe even non-comic person, most of us, especially most of us that watch the show, because it's gotten us interested in all this stuff, know that Iris and Barry are meant to be together. So, we know that Linda will return. I mean, she has to. She went to Central City, I think, to no, Coast. They live in Central City. She went to Coast City. They both start with a C, people. They need to expand the world where something doesn't start with a C or an S. Star and Sterling, or Starling, whatever city, where the Arrow lives, which I'm a huge fan of that show. Obviously, I mean, we do a review for it. But pertaining to the Flash, we have Linda helping the Flash. Right, I didn't finish my thought on the reveal. I'm not happy with the way Linda delivered her lines. In the reveal, she's like, Barry. Oh my gosh, Barry. I kissed the Flash. I made out with the Flash. I'm like, she could sound a little more like in awe of that, but it kind of fell flat for me. If it didn't for you, that's great, and more power to you, but her delivery in that note fell flat for me. But her delivery as Dr. Light, it was comical. It was meant to be comical, like she was trying to be serious, but I mean, really, like, she's kind of like us. She's us in this episode, in which we find out that Barry is a Flash. Okay. Now we have to go help him defeat a bad guy while posing as our evil doppelganger from another Earth. Parallel universe. How would you react? I mean, like, I'd probably say those same stupid lines she did, like, I'm here to kill the Flash. You can't stop me. Like, I mean, everyone says that that's not what they would do, but, I mean, that's what I was telling myself when I was watching. I'm like, that's so lame. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't talk like that, but, like, if you think about it, you would, and you know it. Like, I know I would, which is why I'm saying so, but you guys know that's how you'd react. Like, you'd just be so nervous and anxious that you'd come across cheesy and weird like that. I mean, who wouldn't? So, there's that. And then we got another amazing kiss between Barry and... Why am I blanking on her name? I'm blanking on her name. Patty. Almost didn't remember that. I mean, I'm not gonna ship them because I believe in Barry and Iris. I'm West Allen. All the way, that's never gonna change, West Allen. You guys know that from season 1. And if you only just started watching us this year for this season, then you know that Starfire is also West Allen. We might support or, like, talk about Barry and Patty, but we only ship West Allen. Like, they are our OTPs. They are the ones that will end up together in our eyes. They're the only ones we can depend on to end up together. So, I mean, I love seeing Barry explore other options. I mean, yeah, it's cute and kind of weirdly romantic if the only person you've ever dated is the person you end up with. That's great. But at the same time, you're missing out on other life experiences that could help mold you as a person. And so that's what Barry's going through. He dated Linda, he dated some other chicks that Iris didn't like, dated other chicks in high school and college and stuff that Iris never liked. He dated Linda, which Iris kind of slightly approved of but didn't like, because we all know, even though she was with Eddie, she liked Barry. I almost said Oliver. I will admit that. She likes Barry. So yeah. So we got that going on, but I mean, for the time being that we're not going to get any solid, hardcore Barry Iris moments, since we're not going to get that for now, I am happy with Barry being with Patty. Patty makes Barry happy, and Barry makes Patty happy. So that's good. He's exploring his options, and he's getting to know that there's more than Iris out there. He's moving on. But at the same time, I think somewhere deep inside, he is still waiting on Iris to make a move. Because Barry has made way too many moves. I think that Iris is going to have to be the one to make the move for them to get together. But that probably won't happen for a long time, as the writers have said that Barry and Iris will be a slow burn. But them saying that also states that Barry and Iris will end up together. That's who it will be. They said that. So I really don't see the use in shipping anyone else. Besides that, I support them all the way. I mean, Iris and Barry are perfect. So, yeah. So, let's see. Cisco, and I'm forgetting everyone's name tonight. Cisco vibed off of Wells, or Harry, as we're calling him, instead of Wells, it's calling him Harry. Or at least Cisco is, so that, I don't know, because he's not the Wells that they know, they're calling him Harry. Or at least he is. He vibed off of him, and we got to see the continuation of a part that we got to see last week. I'm not sure if it was in the preview or if it was in the show. Might have been in the show, where we saw that Zoom was standing in front of the cage with Jessie and talking to her like, your father has gone over to the other Earth. And then now we get to see the whole conversation. Actually, I think we got to see that whole conversation. And him walk, and then the camera turned away, so we didn't get to see him go into the cage. I don't think we did. But we heard her scream. I remember that. Whether that was in the preview or the show itself, I don't remember which. But it was pretty awesome to get to see Cisco see that, and to bring it up at the end. Jessie, for all of you who do not know, there is a Flash named Jessie Quick. So there is a possibility that she might be Jessie Quick. I mean, her father did create the particle accelerator that also created the Flash and Zoom and all the other metas in his reality. So she could pick up the ability to be Jessie Quick. What we're probably looking at, because we did see when Jay Garrick was talking about losing his speed, we saw Zoom's hand go into, that was awkward. We saw Zoom's hand, like, go into, like, it was, vibrating, going into his chest, and then the portal opened, and, yeah. We all know the rest. But, it was in that moment which he lost his speed. I heard from somewhere that, I think, Starfire probably knows this. I am not positive. But, there's this thing where, speedsters can share their speed. They can give it away, and they can take it, and they can give speed and take it. So that's what Zoom did. Zoom is collecting the speed force from other people. The more speedsters there are, the slower the speedsters will go. It's, for all those techie guys and girls out there, is kind of like Wi-Fi. We can all kind of think of it as Wi-Fi, because a lot of us know how Wi-Fi works. If there's too many, devices on one bandwidth, on one, Wi-Fi, then the Wi-Fi is slow and bogged down and takes forever, sometimes doesn't work at all. Well, that's how the Speed Force works. There is not an infinite thing out there. There is a limited amount of Speed Force. So Barry is sharing the Speed Force right now with Zoom. So he's not going to be as fast as he was in the beginning of the season, because now Zoom is in our reality. He's on our Earth. I don't know if he went back. If he didn't, then he's still here. And since he's still here, Barry is sharing the Speed Force with Zoom. So Zoom cuts Barry's Speed Force in half. Barry can no longer travel, can no longer run as fast as he could before Zoom entered his reality. But Barry could do the hand thing as well and take speed from Zoom. Zoom could take speed from Barry. Whether or not that actually happened tonight, I am not sure. I mean, Zoom stuck his finger in Barry's side. I'm not positive, but I'm kind of sure it has to go through the chest. So, I don't know exactly how the taking and receiving of the Speed Force works, but what I do know is that Barry is the Speed Force, because we learned that in Season 1, that how Barry connects with the Speed Force when he thought he had lost it, and he hadn't really actually lost it. He just needed to tap into it himself. He needed to believe in himself and run. That's basically what Jay Garrick could do. But he from the start, he shared the Speed Force with Zoom. So I kind of think that since Jay Garrick is the alternate version of the Flash, that he is essentially just like Barry. He is the Speed Force. And I think Zoom is Jay's Reverse Flash. But in a different way. Again, because Eobard Thawne, last season's Reverse Flash, came from the future, whereas Zoom did not come from the future. Zoom is a current timeline person who got transformed. But I don't really think that he's a real person. But that's kind of what they're leading us to believe. I will explain what I think in a moment, but I am going to finish the review of this specific episode really quick here. At the end, when Barry was healing, he couldn't feel his legs. And we're going to see him in a wheelchair next episode. I think it's probably Harrison Wells' wheelchair, or Eobard Thawne's wheelchair. I think that's the wheelchair he used last season. But do remember that Cisco took out the battery charger that helped Eobard keep or retrieve some of his abilities and kind of siphoned them off of Barry. Also, Barry was able to run a lot faster once Eobard Thawne was taken care of. He was running faster at the beginning of the season too than he was the entire time when Eobard Thawne was around. And again, that's because you have to share the Speed Force. It's not infinite, it's like Wi-Fi. So yeah, what I was gonna say about the Flash and about Jay Garrick and Zoom is that Jay Garrick he stated that when he got hit by the bolt of lightning and he became the Flash, he became the Crimson Comet, that there was a shadow that followed him. I think, now I could be wrong because Barry also got hit by the lightning and turned into the Flash, and no Zoom was created in our reality. But I think in the other reality where Jay Garrick comes from, I think when he got hit by the lightning, that it created a shadow version, like a shadow self. Like my shadow behind me. See? Shadow. It could also be that in creating Jay Garrick and creating the Flash, that instant, you also had Zoom. Because I do believe, don't quote me on this, I'm not sure if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments below, but I believe that Jay Garrick said that Zoom wasn't a problem until he woke up from his lightning coma. So I think Zoom also was stuck in some lucid state or translucid or, you know, like mental state, a coma or whatever, that he couldn't get up and go around creating havoc. But when Jay Garrick woke and became the Flash, Zoom took his place among the pantheon of Jay Garrick enemies. So interesting. That's a theory that I have. There's also other theories floating around that Zoom is death. There is a Black Flash, and I don't mean Black Flash as in like skin tone, okay? I mean Black Flash as in the Reaper, death itself. There is a death version of the Flash, and he runs through time, and he is death for the Flash. He's not a version of the Flash that died. He's death. He is the Flash's death. He's like the Grim Reaper for the Flash. Kind of. But that's the best way I could explain the Black Flash. If you guys are comic nerds and know more, put it down in the comments below and I will happily talk to you about it. If I missed anything or you guys have questions about what I said, please leave a comment below or catch us on Twitter. I will get the link and put it down in the description. Yeah, I think that's it. If it's not, then tell me below and we will talk about it. So, I suppose that's it. Until next time, keep believing in the impossible.